there it is. Saudi F-35 F-15EX purchase. So President Trump said it's going to happen. Now, of course, the Saudis have been flying F-15s for a long time. 90% commonality with the EX, just more capability. But they want the F-35. And Trump says, I will say that we will be doing that. We will be selling F-35s. Sale will mark a significant policy shift, potentially altering the military balance in the Middle East and testing Washington's definition of maintaining Israel's qualitative, and I missed it, qualitative military edge. There you go. Thanks, Doug. Scroll down a little bit. Yeah, they want to buy 48. I'm sorry.
It's the worst teleprompter. Go ahead. Sorry.
It's fine. Doing great. They want to buy as many as 48 F-35s in a multi-billion-dollar deal. They've long been interested in the F-35, but obviously we haven't sold it to them yet. Scroll down, Doug. You got a picture of that. They'd probably be buying the A model. Usually Saudi Arabia, pretty much all Air Force, U.S. Air Force spec jets. So Saudi Arabia is the largest customer for U.S. arms. And they're just looking to modernize their force with the F-35 and the EX. They got a mix of Typhoons. It says here Tornadoes too, which I didn't realize they were still flying the Tornado. If they are, it's cool. Cool jet. Basically, do congressional scrutiny pose a challenge to any F-35 sales? So lawmakers are questioning this deal. Basically, they're afraid of China getting their hands on F-35 technology and the ability for us to protect that technology when we sell an airplane like the F-35 to other countries. I mean, we like to be able to keep it with our friends. Now, just like any foreign military sales, they're going to get the export version, whatever that entails. A lot of that is determined by what Saudi Arabia is willing to pay for, and really what what exactly are the Saudis looking for in the F-35, right? So capability wise. So I have no idea what that is, what that'll entail, but it won't be exactly like a US spec F-35. Mover?
A couple things. So we didn't talk about it in the article, but it's 60 EX fighters with 48 F-35. So two different orders. That's right. This is part of their Vision 2030 modernization drive. Obviously, we know that the F-15SA is what they currently have. So it's kind of building on that modernization, which the EX would not exist if not for the QA.
Yep.
And the SA. So, right, because it was SA then QA.
Yep.
So it's kind of a logical thing that they want that. As far as the F-35, the biggest thing, we've seen this in the past with us not wanting to sell F-35s to countries that are cozying up to potential adversaries. For example, Turkey with the S-400. India. Was it India that also we had? They were talking about the F-35 and then they backed out. Was that one of them?
Yep.
The biggest thing with Saudi Arabia is China is one of their largest, if not their largest, trade partner. So, they supply a whole bunch of oil. They have a whole bunch of investment. So, and as we know, you can't separate business in China from the government. So that raises some red flags because anything you sell to anything you sell to Saudi Arabia could end up in China's hands. Now, does that matter? I mean, yes, it obviously we don't want that, but look at what they're already doing. I mean, kind of the cat's already out of the bag because look at their J-35, their J-20, all of the fighters that we've talked about on this channel. And as you mentioned, it's foreign material sales. So it's not what we have, but it's not bad either. And there's probably stuff just by the basic design of it, right? There's characteristics that you just can't take out and say, here you go, here's our watered down version, because just the design of the entire aircraft, you can reverse engineer and stuff. So there is a threat, but as we've talked about with the EX and with other fighters, that's what keeps the assembly lines open. So there was another article about, I want to say Taiwan, where Lockheed is having trouble filling the orders on the F-16 side. And if it weren't for the fact that they'd just modernized them, that they'd be in a hurt locker. But there's a point where selling these, the backlog is so severe that, when and how they get them will be years down the road, and, it'll be overcome by events anyway.
Yeah, you bring up a good point as far as the cat's already out of the bag for the F-35 based on the airplanes they got coming out. But similar to, the F-16A, F-18A, as it's not, they may have information on the airplane, of course, but the envelope is still expanding, right, on those airplanes, right? New capabilities and stuff with software updates and even tactics kind of stuff. So you may have bled in the past, you want to stop the bleeding for the future, right? So
just because that's always a common argument with like DCS. They're like, well, I saw it on Google, and it's like, well, just because you saw it on Google doesn't mean that I can go tell you and confirm it. Right.
Yeah.
But the other thing too is the aircraft that they're going to get, right, is so far down the road.
Yeah. I mean, you mentioned it as well, man. The FMS sales I think they're very important. I mean, the F-15, a lot of the, I mean, like you mentioned, man, the QA, the S, all that, not only has it kept the line open, kept development going on those airplanes, then we benefit from that as well. The F-18, we wouldn't have EP engines if it wasn't for the Kuwaitis, right? So, and I guarantee there's probably advancements on the F-16 side that were funded by their countries purchasing that airplane, because I mean that's one of the best-selling air fighters of all time. So it's just a balance, man. It's arms race balance, right? I mean, anytime we could never sell any of our military tech to any country and secrets still get out, right? I understand,
and then there's the geopolitical side of this, which is, Israel doesn't want other countries in the region to have the F-35, and there's that.
Yeah, I know, man. I don't know. I like I said, I used to live in Saudi Arabia for a long time, and I know they're on the flying side. They've always been very partial to U.S. tech. They've always had, when I was there, there's F-15s, Eagles. They like American. When I worked for Boeing, I was actually in the parachute shop getting fitted for my gear when one of the Saudi princes called. Yeah, he wanted another helmet, so they got him a helmet. But and I talked to those guys a little bit about the and the relationship was good. So I don't know. I'm sure that if the sale actually goes through, we'll probably do what we can. And, I mean, what more can you say?
I mean, and then, our president is a lifelong salesman. He's going to sell. Yeah, he's going to sell. Like, he wants to sell, which creates jobs and keeps the factory running.
Yeah.
If maybe we had sold some F-22s, we could still get an F-22 at this point, because we kept the assembly line going.
Yeah, dude. I mean, we always talk about it, right? Our capacity to build bombs, airplanes, ships, war-fighting stuff pales in comparison to other countries. So, if you're a company like Lockheed and you got an overwhelming amount of orders, it might make sense to build some factories that can support more production. I don't know, funded by foreign military sales. I don't know, man.
We need jets, though.
Well, yeah, I know that. Yeah, but I mean, in wartime, that's all shut down. Guess what? Every jet that comes off the line is ours.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. All right.